I was picking up at our last session how everyone had a yearning for that intimate connection. And I thought, this is kind of universal. This is something that we all got to grapple with.
Mm-hmm.
There's a discomfort in it. There's a wanting something that you don't have, a yearning for something that you don't have.
Let's go into being present. We can follow the breath into the center of ourselves, wherever that center may be. Sometimes we think of it as the lungs near the heart, and that's a metaphor. Because what part of your body are you not centered in? If you imagine your knee, take your focus there. You're centered there. But if you imagine your body and focus on your body, you're centered there. And if you join a thought that comes to you, you're centered there. So imagine, and you don't have to imagine, but you can, because the imagination is the owning of the focus of your thinking. So imagine, sense, feel where you feel the most you, wherever that's located at in your body. And then breathe, not struggling for breath, not pacing any particular thing. Allowing the natural function of breathing and follow it wherever it centers you. And we wonder about intimacy, the wanting of what we do not have. Or maybe we have intimacy with the other, but wanting it to be more than it is. That longing. And then we're reminded of the word belonging. And we're stuck in the longing part instead of the be. Belonging. And it brings up so much for us beyond just the hope or desire of the love and intimacy from another being, but the tribal aspects of ourselves, the ancient aspects that understood that if you were not part of the tribe, you were likely dead. Rejection was life-threatening. Even though one can live alone at this point in time, in some ways, of course, somebody's helping you with food and you go buy drinks at the store, but being a part of the tribe is not as necessary, yet we long for belonging. So part of it is instinctual, and part of it is the recognition of the merging. And there's so many aspects of us to merge with. Part of it is the awareness that when we come from oneness into individuality, there's a discomfort, a longing to be back in the one, a longing to be completely intimate, merged with all that is, the presence of everything, nothing separate, the fluidity, the interconnectedness, the absolute lack of rejection, the welcome of everything, because it's you. And to individuate is a bit of a separation when we have merged with thinking and thought and a body. But there's a beauty to that as well. But there is such a comfort, or there is such a comfort in being one. And now the work is to be one in a body with a thinking mind and an ego and a personality and a society, to loosen the conceptions that separate us here. So let us be intimate with ourselves in our own bodies, realizing that we are still connected to all that is, but present to the body that we're in, still connected to all that is, but present to the body, to the conceptual thinking, to the longings of belonging. And as we are present to all that, it's hard to find the longing. And remember this space of being without longing. Of oneness with all that is in yourself. And this is oneness with yourself. And allowing yourself to be one with all that is while being present to a body. How secure, how at ease, and yet in this space is there interest and intimacy, relationship. And there's a bit of laughter with that, as if you're not intimate and relating to everything around you, whether it's nature, a blanket, an animal, a friend, even your enemy you're relating to. You are intimate, even with the breath, as it merges into your body. You allow it to snuggle next to your soul. See, in this space, you're a whole, you are be. But no worries, we'll get to the longing. But let's be, so that we are not controlled by the longing of belonging. So here we are, intimate with the breath. It enters your bloodstream. How much closer could you be? And do you trust it? What if it hurts you? What if it gives you oxygen and then takes it back? See, that's our relationship concepts. What if I lean into this love and it goes away? You don't think about that with the breath. This intimate partner that sustains you, that your life depends on. Because you haven't injected into breathing the concept of trusting. Do I take this in? Do I allow it? What if it hurts me? What if it leaves me? What if it goes away? And because thinking hasn't entered into that relationship, even the awareness that one day it won't enter your body anymore, that you will not breathe in at some point. It's not frightening here. No one wants to rush to it, but you're aware that will change. And yet, we still lean into it. We still breathe. We aren't angry. We don't reject the intimacy of the breath because one day we will lose it. Then in actuality, you will become the breath. Because we know that. We won't lose it. We merge with it in a different way and join it on a different journey. And that's the same thing that's happening in our relationships with one another. We never lose them. We merge with them in different ways, on different journeys. You don't have to be afraid of holding something in your arm and losing it forever, because it's there in the merging. But oh, our hearts break and our minds collapse at the loss of the physical presence. Of course, darling, of course. Even our enemy is merged, but we're having a different relationship. Because there is nothing but being at the center of belonging. Everyone belongs, whether we adore them or not. And we can adore the inclusivity of that, even as our minds play with the rules and the beliefs. And that's okay. And that's what we're here for. To be in the face of longing with the absolute assurance that we're okay. And so with this trust in ourselves, because look at us here, safe and secure, not needing. But there is love, and we can feel that love. There is a desire to connect for some, not for everyone. Not everyone is here for partners, though they are partnered in this amazing evolution. But if in the midst of this love that is present, always being, always belonging, always holding the hand of longing, if in this space you reach into yourself and feel that love that you are, that you don't have to even reach for, from this love, if you consider relationship, if that opens and bubbles something up inside of you, then trust. There are millions on this planet with that desire. And several just right for you. Because that which is one, that which you are, didn't send you here to be disappointed. It's a part of your existence. But it also didn't send you here needy and unfulfilled if it didn't seem to look like it was working out. Because the deepest, most intimate relationship is the one with yourself. So first, getting to know you and loving you, trusting you, trusting you didn't send you here to fail. You didn't send you here to cry and long. You sent yourself here to heal the aspects of you that deny, resist, that trust in yourself as the love that you are. So that primary relationship is first with you. And you'll work through all the familial relationships that told you you weren't good enough, not on purpose, not to hate you. And oh yeah, is there somebody out there that had a horrible childhood where that was there? Absolutely. But most people are not aware of when they're messing up that identity of self because their own self identity had a hole in that same place. They wound you from the holes inside themselves. But you can heal. So first we heal many of those familial wounds to stand strong in our identity, not of the self, but of the innate loving being that doesn't struggle of value or worth because they understand that we're all one, equal, in point of light, integral to all that is. Perfect balance. There's not that hierarchy. There's no struggle. Value and worth is irrelevant because you are and everyone is. So we work through those familial tones, tones of the sounds, the vibrations of those beliefs. And we sing a different song. We work through tribal belonging, national identity, colors of skin, rejections, convolutions, the tones of hatred and racism, division. And we work through them in any other categories of tones and confusion. We work through them very intimately with ourselves, with our own minds. And we don't do it with hatred. We do it with compassion, awareness, and understanding. There's no blame or fault on you for the thinking that you encounter. But there is an importance on the recognition of what you're encountering and how it engages with your own body, your own mind and heart and being and others which are not separate from you. So how will you treat yourself? So with awareness of not believing the thoughts, but not blaming yourself, then you engage with the thoughts of your mind as not so much truth, which it never was, but with the compassion and the awareness that it is convoluted, wrapped in distress, and not relevant unless you live it And then it's absolutely your existence. To be in this intimate relationship with yourself, your being, and not the longing of the mind. See, it longs to be superior, successful, achieve, adored, loved, valued, because the root of it is fear and worthlessness. So rather than pretend that it's true, address the fears and worthlessness with compassion, which lets go of the illusions of gender and race and country and creed and success and value and hierarchy and religion and loves. Then love you. Love your mind and what it presents. Presents as options to engage, but not as truth. And once you begin this, because boy, doesn't that sound like forever? Well, we have eternity and we'll address things as they come. But once you're aware that you are not your mind or your thoughts, then you already engage with the most intimate relationship you can have, which is with your own being. And then with life itself through the breath. And then with the perception of the other. See, when you meet that person, that is your other. The fights are the perceptions that are in between the intimacy, the oneness. And you've decided that the two of you should work on this. And together you unite to work on the tones of confusion and separation. And at all points, you are belonging and intimate, even in the midst of an argument, as if you're separate. And of course, it comes with the mind getting to enjoy the feeling of intimacy with another. Because isn't it a pleasure for the mind to enjoy another's arms wrapped around their body? Nothing wrong with that. Beautiful, loving, kind. May your day absolutely reflect the beauty of oneness that is perceived as relationship. May your day be full of that. And when your day has the tone of an argument, it is reflective of your joining a body and interacting with the tones of thought consciousness and struggling to bring that into the harmonic tone of your being's awareness that it is absolutely okay and loved and love. And let us enjoy the other that we have chosen to intimately work this out with as an extension of the reflection of our own selves, loving ourselves. How beautiful. Nothing wrong with it. But it is not a requirement for your happiness, because that would not be life to set it up that way. Be happy. And oh, I can feel the disturbance of that. Being happy even though I don't have what I want. It's only because you haven't wanted what you have. You haven't met who you are, because it would fill you and fulfill you. And as you meet who you are through the reflections of relationships and their ups and downs and their collapses and their betrayals, you're safe. And yes, there is a pleasure of the merging with the other. And what a joy to find that relation. And what a joy to find it with yourself. And by finding it with yourself and being whole and trusting you, let me ease the mind from its thinking of, but then I won't have somebody. I want to have somebody. Yes, mind, I have compassion for you. But you're not the root of my being, and don't be the root of my longing. But it is the root of the longing. So love it. Give it the love and attention it wants. And expand yourself. Trust yourself. And find, without having to struggle, the tone of the being that will hold you in their arms. And together you tune. Being whole with yourself does not exclude the pleasure of another's arms. But it takes the desperation and gives you the pleasure of your own loving arms and allows you to be wrapped in the arms of another as well. The only thing you let go of and loving the feeling of longing is the lack of awareness that you already belong. Be. And there will be many hands to hold and arms wrapped around you and kisses and intimacy without the desperation of the longing or the concept that you're separate. Thank you.